Again, it's a rich thing.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. In today's video we're going to build a clipboard history tracker in Python, so let us get right into it. Alright, so we're going to build a clipboard history tracker in Python, which can be very helpful because on Windows by default we only have one clipboard. So we can copy something, we can store it there, but if we copy something else, the first thing is gone and we only have the second thing. So if you want to keep a history of your clipboard entries, you can do that by installing some extra software. You can also have multiple clipboards and so on, or you can just build your own Python script to do it for you. And this is what we're going to do today, but this piece of Python script is only going to work on Windows. It's not going to work on Linux because we're going to use a library called Win32 Clipboard. However, I think the same thing on Linux will not be too hard. You just have to find the respective library. So we're going to start by saying import Win32 Clipboard, and as far as I know, we don't even have to install it because it's part of the core Python stack on Windows. And we're also going to import time. So the idea is that we're going to constantly ask what is the content of the clipboard, and if the content is changing or if the content has changed, we're just going to log that change into a file so that we don't lose any important information that is stored in the clipboard. And of course, you can turn off the script at all times. So if you don't want it to log anything because you're copying passwords or something, you can just turn off the script and turn it on later again. So we're going to import these two libraries. Actually, the script is actually quite small. We only need 14 lines of code. If you remove the two blank lines, we only need 12 lines of code. So it's actually quite a simple script. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to say while true. So we're constantly going to get the clipboard data. And we're going to do this by saying win32 clipboard.open clipboard. Then we're going to say data equals win32 clipboard.get clipboard data. And we're going to say win32 clipboard.close clipboard. There you go. That's actually all of the magic. This is how we get the clipboard information. Now what we're going to do is we're going to also define a variable old, which is going to be just an empty string. And we're going to always check, is the new data that I'm getting from the clipboard the same as the old data? Because then I don't have to log it. We don't want to have the same entry 1,000 times just because we're constantly checking and writing into the file. We only want to write to the log if something changes. So we're going to go ahead and say if old is not equal to data, then we're going to say with open clip history is what we're going to call it, clip history.txt, into appending mode plus, so that we can also create sf, and we're going to say f write data with a \n in the end, and of course after that we're going to set old to data so that it doesn't have to trigger all the time. And then the only thing we need to add is time sleep, and you can add whatever interval you want. Maybe you want to save the clipboard every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, maybe every second, or 2 times a second. So this is the actual script. So let's copy something. Let's copy this while true here by using ctrl and C. And then we just run this script. And now it's running and it's tracking all the stuff. So right now it's it already has written while true into the file. Now let me copy something else. Let me copy import time, ctrl C. Then we can copy this part here, ctrl C. Then we can copy, I don't know, something down here, ctrl-c, and now we can terminate the script here. And you can see I have this clip history, first of all while true, import time, then some code, and then this part. So this script is running in the background, and whatever I copy into the clipboard is going to be logged into this little text file, into this log. And if I have copied something and then I forgot to save it somewhere and I copied something else and now it's gone, I can look into this clip history and just copy it again. Or if you want, you can also extend the script and create some variables where you can just load into the clipboard and stuff like that. So that is also a possibility. Now, actually, instead of just talking about what we could do, let's go ahead and do it. We're going to create a clipboard storage system in Python as well. So we're going to say import threading. And the idea is the following. We're going to have a terminal where we can always just enter a number, for example, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And those numbers are going to represent the clipboard slots, you could say. So we start with 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. And whenever the clipboard content changes, we're going to fill one of those fields that we then can later on load using the terminal. So I can just enter 1 or I can just enter 3, and then we're going to get the content of the respective slot loaded into the current clipboard. So we're going to do that with multi-threading because we're going to need 2 while true loops. But first of all, we're going to define a counter, and the counter is going to say which clipboard we're going to write into next if something changes. We're going to start with 0, of course, and then we're going to say clips equals empty list, like that. Then we're going to have a function which is going to be the process input function. So def process input. There you go, process input. And then we're going to say while true, choice equals int input. So we're just going to enter the index here that we want to load. And then we're going to say win32 clipboard, open clipboard, win32 clipboard, empty clipboard. There you go. Empty clipboard. Win32 clipboard, set clipboard text. And we're going to set clips choice, win32 clipboard, cf text. And then win32 clipboard dot close clipboard. So what we're doing is we're opening, we're emptying, we're setting the text from this array or from this list. We're loading it into the actual clipboard of the system, and then we're closing. Actually, I'm not sure if we need to close. Let's just do it. Maybe we're going to have to remove it later on. But besides that, we're going to say t equals threading dot thread target equals process input, and then t dot start. Then we're going to have the while true loop where we're going to not write into a file, but we're going to say win32 clipboard, open clipboard again. We're going to say data equals win32 clipboard dot get clipboard data, win32 clipboard dot close clipboard, and then if data not in clips, if we don't have such a content in the stored clipboards already, then we're going to say, okay, clips counter is going to be data, and we're going to increase the counter by 1, and we're going to print the content of the clips of the whole list, and we're going to, of course, have time sleep for half a second. So that looks promising. Let's see if it works. Let's run this. Index out of range. What do we have here? Counter equals data. That's it. Of course, we can start with a fixed size, or we can just do append, depending on how you want to do it. So if you want to do it with a fixed size, you can go ahead and say, okay, we have 5 slots. And if we want to work with 5 slots, then we can, of course, go ahead and say counter modulo equals 5, because we should not go overboard. Or we can just go ahead and append all the time. But I'm going to use this this variant here, so I'm going to say modulo equals 5. So we have 5 clipboards. Let's see if it now works. I already have something copied, so let's just copy this thing here. There you go. So we have time sleep 0.5. As you can see right now, nothing is happening. If I copy something else, this is going to trigger a print. As you can see now, the second slot is full. And I'm very excited to see if this actually works. So right now, if I paste something, as you can see, I'm actually pasting what I already had copied. Now, if I enter 1 here, or actually not 1, if I enter 0, am I going to have time sleep in my clipboard? There you go, it actually works. Wow, I didn't expect that, to be honest, because I'm improvising a little bit. But as you can see, this works. So I had this in my clipboard. I then entered 0. It loaded that into my clipboard. And it didn't trigger another print because this is already part of the list. And now I have this in my clipboard. Now, if I copy something else, this here, for example, copy. It's going to trigger another print. Now I can go ahead again and enter a 0 here. Or actually, it's not asking for input. Why is that? Because I'm not in input mode. There you go. 0, and now if I paste this, you can see again it works. If I enter a 1, it should be able to load this one here. There you go. So as you can see, this is a perfect way to just manage your clipboard in multiple clipboards. Now, let's see if this also works if I go beyond 5. So I copy that. Now we have the 4th slot. Now I copy that. We have the 5th slot. Now I'm excited what happens if I do while true. There you go. Oh, it actually works. It goes back to 0, and this is what is supposed to happen. So that works perfectly fine. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I actually ended up doing something that I wasn't even planning to do, because initially I just wanted to log into files, and then I thought, okay, the video is too short, and let's add some multiple clipboard slots into the program, and it seemed to work quite well. So the last part was kind of improvised, but it worked perfectly fine, so I'm very happy about that. If you want to see more videos like that, more quick tips on how to automate stuff on your system, let me know in the comment section down below. Click the like button, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss a single future video for free. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video, and bye.